So, dear colleagues, hello and welcome to episode number 38. It was supposed to get a discussion with some members in my live studio, but maybe there was some miscommunication. So I hope that many out there are joining me. I have sent out the link. If somebody wants to join me in my studio, we have like 9 spots. It's like a huge Zoom conference. Then feel free to do so, to add your comments also visually. And for all the rest, hello and welcome from Facebook and YouTube and from wherever you're joining us and watching this live episode with the members. And I have announced this live to talk about dental photography books. Do we still need them? So this is an ongoing discussion, a question we want to talk about in the next 45 minutes, depending on what you will add to this discussion. So I have one guest. Dr. Gupta, but I think she has to reconnect her device. So I will go straight forward with a question that I have always been asked during my last live interviews. So, dear Alessandro, that's me, that's myself. Tell us a little bit more about you. So, to start this discussion, to warm up a little bit, let me introduce myself. My name is Alessandro Devigus. I'm a Swiss dentist with passion, obviously, for digital technologies and also for dental photography. So what the hell is this guy doing on social media, on all these things? So the whole story started back in 2018 when we decided to organize our first dental photography conference, 2019 in Seville, in Spain. And for advertisements reasons, so I set up a website, I started going live on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. I checked out all the channels and found Instagram the most interesting one for my purpose. And now I discovered also YouTube. And yeah, that's basically it. And I have a lot of fun. I started with this live interview series last summer to get a little bit more comfortable on camera, because this is an important part to communicate with people out there. And it's my great pleasure. It's my great pleasure to introduce you also to, you have to tell me how you spell your name. Ritu Gupta. Is that correct?
Yes. Perfect.
Perfect. So because
Yes.
so far you're my only guest, but a nice one, and we have been in touch for quite a while, because you told me that you would have loved to come to our second dental photography conference, which was supposed to be
In
organized.
2019.
Last year in Budapest. No,
Yes.
yeah, last year in Budapest. So we postponed it to this year, and now we postponed it even to next year, 22. So,
yes.
So Ritu, tell me a little bit more about you. So
Okay.
when you are here, tell me a little bit more about you and what's your passion with dental photography.
Okay. So I'm a general dentist, and I'm practicing since last 12 years in India, the center of India. And I'm doing photography since, I think it's been not more than 5 years. I learned, and then I started doing it, and somehow I developed this passion towards photography, dental photography and general photography. So I started with dental photography, and then I moved to general photography also. So I'm too much into photography now, and then I started teaching dental photography, which came out to be really good. And I traveled quite a lot of cities in India to have my workshops. So it had been a great experience with photography, and I'm the first female, you can say, teaching dental photography in India. So that's something I feel very proud of. And that's it. Just having a good time.
That's already a lot. And I follow you. I see you have passion not only for dental photography, but for photography in general. But this is something that you discover or see. So if you start getting more into dental photography, at the end you want also to explore what's outside dental photography, because dental photography is not, it's not about artwork. But I had a discussion with some colleagues lately. So what we are doing, dental photography is scientific photography. We're doing documentation. It has to be standardized, reproducible. And there was an interesting statement from Jazzy. I can't spell his name. This Indian guy with the beard who's doing podcasting on
Yes,
Instagram.
Mayur. That's Dr. Mayur Davda.
Yeah.
Mayur.
No, the other one. Jassi, I have to find out his name. He very nice guy from the guy you are mentioning is from India, and I'm talking about another dentist from England who's doing podcasting. And we had an interesting discussion this morning, and he was telling me that you can find out who has taken a clinical image. And my answer to this was, oh, this is not good. Because clinical photography, if you do a documentation on a patient, and I would do the same documentation on the same patient, the two images should look the same. There should not be a difference. You know, maybe there are some small differences because of the equipment used and some slight difference in settings, but overall they should look very similar. It's like taking X-rays. So if you take an X-ray, an apex X-ray of a tooth, and I do an apex X-ray of a tooth, they should look the same.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm talking about is there's a scientific part of dental photography, which is 90% or 95% of what we are doing. And there's the artistic part, mainly what you see on social media. And I can tell you and everybody out there, I recently found out why South Americans are so big in artistic photography. Do you know why?
No, I don't have any idea.
Since in Brazil, only since 2019, dentists are allowed to show clinical documentations outside their dental office. So putting a kiwi in the mouth or anything else makes a dental photograph a fashion photograph, you know? Yes. So then you avoid, or you go around. That's like a workaround to still show what you're doing with your patients, or you show something that you were not allowed to show before. And since 2019, they are allowed to do so. But I think they are so used to this artistic photography that it's hard for them to go away from this artistic style of photography. And especially they see that people on social media, Noel mentioned it's Jas Gulati. He by the way has a great podcast series talking to people. A very nice guy. Let's say. So, but let's go back. Let's go back to what I want to discuss with you and with all the other people out there. Is let's talk about dental photography books. So one question to you and maybe to all the rest out there. So how many dental photography books do you have?
Honestly, I have none.
That's interesting. That's very interesting, because we didn't agree on any statements before this live meeting, you know. But I have I would say around 15. So basically, I bought all books on dental photography I was able to find, but I know that there are many more out there. But
yes,
tell me why you are not having any dental photography books.
This morning I checked, because I had this discussion tonight. So I checked in Google about dental photography books. So that was the first time I could see there are so many books available on dental photography. I don't have it because I had notes for photography. I did not have any book. I had notes from where I learned. That's a quite known university in India. I learned from there, and we had those notes, you know, those photocopied notes, Xerox notes. So those were there with me. So, and that time, I'm talking about 2016. That time we didn't have I was not aware of, nobody was aware of those books, that any book is available on dental photography. There was one book which was from Canon, but it was specifically for dental photography or general photography. I don't remember. So I started having those notes with me. So I started Googling about it, and then get to know why this is so, or how can we improve, or how can we elaborate, all those things. So I never had a book, a textbook, or any other book or of dental photography. So that was one reason I wanted to be in this discussion, because even I wanted to know whether, I mean, how these books are helping. But yes, in the morning when I saw all these books, and I realized, if I'm teaching dental photography, and if I would have been a student, I would love to have a textbook or a book from where I can, I can look up to, and I can see that whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, or I can learn many things. Or it has to, it of course, it's a book. It has to be a systematic pattern. It has to be it has to have a systematic pattern of studying dental photography, which is very important, especially for orthodontic cases, or maybe some rehabilitation cases. So that is very important. And then I realized, I think I should buy a few.
Okay. Yeah, but the next question is, so you don't have any book. I have many books. There are many books out there, but do we still need them? So this is like a provocative question, not only related to dental photography, because if we are honest today, if you write a book, the day it's printed, it's outdated. So you have to start writing it again, depending on what it is. So, but I think there should be combinations of different styles, and especially if we. And I was asking myself this question, browsing all the books I have bought over the years, and I'm always coming back to my oldest books on dental photography. So it's like the article I love to share from Wolfgang Bengel from 1985, where he describes the standards of dental photography in the analog days. And he then, I think some years later, published his first book on dental photography. There have been other smaller books, but he was really the first writing a huge book on dental photography with a lot of side information that are not really related to dental, but to photography in general, to understand what is an aperture, what is shutter speed, what is a flash. So all the background information that are information not related to dental photography, they are related to photography in general. And then he rewrote his book, I think 15 years ago, in 2006. He wrote his book about digital dental photography. And guess what? There was not so much to change. And if you look at the new books, they are all, I share my screen with you. I have, because I have some books on my website. So some books. So this is the Wolfgang Bengel one. The nice thing for all people who are joining the community, they can read this book online. So I have, because it's not on sale anymore. So you might find some used copies around Amazon or I don't know where, but you can look, you can read, you can go through the book on the website. So I have, so it's all the book is there with all the so it's many pages where you can
396 pages.
yeah it's 396 pages. It's a huge book. So basically it's like a photo Bible. And then there are many books out there. For example, a book I like very much is the one from Carlos Ayala, which is a workbook. Basically, it's handwritten notes with some comments. There's a more recent book from Miguel Ortiz. There's a book from Mirella Ferraro. There are books, a very nice book, and this is already his second book, from Irfan Ahmad about dental photography. The book from our Brazilian friend Tony Arcuri, and last but not least, something that gives the addition to "Do we still need them?" Claude Sieber. Claude Sieber is a very famous lab technician, and he's one of the greatest dental photographers. And he wrote some motivational books, so not really textbooks. So he ran a lot of workshops, and his last book, this one, are some notes from his workshops with some practical tips and tricks. And guess what? This is printed out on an online print service. So I think the future of our books will be an online version. And if you want, if there are some nice pictures in the book, you can print them by yourself. So we save trees, we save fees of printing, of delivering the books. And still, if you want to enjoy some nice pictures of a book, there are so many high quality print services out there. And I see the future. For me, the future is collecting the information, and if somebody wants, he can print it out. And if he doesn't want, the information is at your fingers, at your hand. And I want to come back. You made an interesting comment. So you say there was a brochure from Canon. I know this brochure. This made the circle around the globe. There's some basic information. And if you look at all the dental photography books, they all are nice. They go through some basic steps, but only a few of them, or almost none of them, really covers the standards described in the article of Wolfgang Bengel from 1985. So what are these books all about? So this is the question. So what is the correct information? What information should you take from these books? So that's why maybe you're hesitating for that, or not, or have not decided yet to buy a book. So what are your thoughts on this?
I would love to buy a book which is the most updated one. See, the thing is, when we talk about clinical dental photography, said that if I'll click a picture and if you'll click a picture, clinical picture, it has to be similar, almost, or 99%. It has to be similar. So that is something which we call as a standardization, which we study in dental photography. Now, I think every book which is available in the market will be having the same standardization thing. So apart from this clinical standardization or a clinical a normal what you call protocol or guidelines to have clinical pictures intraoral and extraoral, I think every book has would be having same content. But now what are the things which they are adding, which is more interesting to know and to follow, which are like glamour pictures or those artistic images you spoke about. So since it is a era of social networking, showcasing your work. So I think which I'm also doing for very long, that doing those lip pictures and showing that veneer case, or in a different way, not a clinical way. So I think that would be an addition to know and learn, because people are very attracted to that thing, including the dentists who are working here and who are doing documentation, who are normally they are doing these clinical pictures, but now they are very much attracted towards these artistic images to showcase their work with the help of studio lights. Now, initially, I don't think anybody would have been clicking pictures with the studio lights. But now studio lights are also in the picture, and people are doing it so much, and they are expressing and they are showcasing their work. So I think
Yeah.
for that reason, it's a good
No.
to have the book.
Yeah. Absolutely. But you have to be careful not to mix different things. So books for me are necessary or can be useful to print or to have some basic information published. So it's like a handbook. But at the end, if you really cut down the basic information you find in all these books, it's not really a huge amount. I'm
Must be
really
four
sorry.
pages. Must be
It,
four pages only.
that's why the brochure from Canon or brochures from Nikon or from other companies, which are 4, 5, 6 pages, this is enough to give you the basic information you need to start with dental photography. All the books out there are, from my point of view, more a little bit also motivational tools, so to motivate people to say, look, I have taken nice clinical images and I want to encourage you to do so. But again, it's really important to start with the basics, choose the right equipment, have the right settings, and try to go with a standardized protocol of your documentation. And then you can say, okay, if you have the time, then go and do some fancy stuff, do artistic photography, showcase yourself. And if you look on social media, and the showcasing process happens on social media, and then you see clearly 2 or 3 different types of dentists showcasing. Number one, dentists who only do marketing for their patients. In these accounts, you only see before, after, before, after, before, after, and everything looks the same. Everything looks the same because it's a pattern that people watching these accounts, they recognize. He's doing nice teeth. He's doing nice teeth. I want nice teeth. And then they call the dental office and go for an appointment. This is marketing for the patients. These doctors will never answer your scientific questions. How did you solve the case? What was your photographic setup? They don't care because they just want to marketize their service to the patients. Number 2 are the dentists who just are looking for likes. They want that everybody say, wow, you're amazing. And this gives them like this gives them the self-confidence or the good feeling they were looking for. It's it's like belly thing. And then there's the third part, and this is a very small number, who are really trying to seriously document cases and discuss cases. But I tell you, there's one big issue, and I've discussed this with many colleagues and with many internet. So I got a lot of coaching to start my social media career or my social media endeavor. And everything that works with other niches doesn't work with dentists. So I don't know how it's in India or in other countries, but what I see is dentists don't want to expose themselves. So it's much harder to enter into a discussion with dentists. If you post something and ask a question, say, look, I have done this. What do you think? Let's start a discussion. So this does not really happen, It's more the showcase, the marketing thing. So what is you are a younger generation dentist. So what is your opinion? Why are dentists so shy to start a discussion? So if somebody, for example, a housewife is doing a cupcake Instagram page, on each post, there are hundreds of comments. If a dentist is posting something, maybe on some mega stars, you see a lot of comments, but the comments are hearts, thumbs up. It's rarely that dentists are really expressing real comments. So what do you think about this?
You are right to some extent. Initially, it wasn't like that, but now I have so many colleagues who are doing really good, and they are posting their cases, and they discuss the case. And I would say dentists are not shy. This is just my personal opinion. They are more scared of posting their cases, because there are so many people who are quite hard on them. They might leave a comment which will be hard on them, which will be harsh or rude comment, or they will be judging them by their work. Something like that. If somebody, for example, recently I have seen one case, so somebody has done full mouth veneers, but though it was an ortho case, and then other people were commenting that why did you do that, you spoiled the teeth, you ruined the teeth totally, and why didn't you go for ortho treatment, like that. So I think people are more scared of posting their cases, because there are so many people sitting behind them to you know pinch them that you have done wrong. So that is one reason I feel. Other is like there are many dentists in my list. I know them personally. They post their cases, and they discuss it. Like they tell why did if somebody is questioning that why did you do that, they very well they are answering them. They are discussing this. They are doing this discussions. So I think now it's not like that. It was initially when there were very less dentists posting their cases, but now people are doing, even now, in fact, even if their work is not up to the mark or not perfect, they are doing it. And also, if they're documented, I have seen many people who are posting their cases, but the documentation is not the images are not clear, the quality wise they are poor. So but they are posting the cases. So it's, I think in India it's not like that anymore, that they are not showing it to social media.
Okay. So but at the end, if somebody's struggling, it would be better not to go on social media, so you avoid all the problems. So why are some people like hurting themselves by posting something before? So I would suggest to young dentists, if you want to start a career on social media with your clinical cases, look for a mentor in your area, an older, more experienced dentist that maybe is known around you, and ask him or her to judge on the quality of the case, on the quality of the images, and then start posting. And the second thing is, if you start a journey on social media, you need to have a strategy. And I will start now in the near future a series on dentistry and social media. I have extensively analyzed the social media market, and dentistry is really very special in relation to social media. It's very controversially. So a lot of people would love to go on social media, don't know how. Maybe start with very enthusiastic, then they give up. They don't know why nobody is looking at their content, why is nobody sharing, etc., etc. But these are very important information, and I will start next week. I have a very interesting guest, a social media expert from Greece, and that's why inviting all these social media experts to find out, because they always tell me, yeah, you have to find your niche, then you start posting, and people will engage and follow and do and comment and whatever, but not dentists. So the dentists seem to be really something special, and not only in Europe. I found it all over the planet. It's very, very hard, and I would love to communicate more, but we not only should define standards in dental photography, but I think we should also define standards on how we communicate on social media together. So this would be the next step, that we define standards, guidelines on how to behave, how to communicate, how to talk to each other on social media, to create this communication that is now missing, because you don't know if you post something how the reaction will be of your colleagues. So then you better say, okay, I'd better don't do anything rather than doing something that might be create or evoke negative feedback. So we can go from dental photography, which is a visual thing that easily can be then also showcased on social media, but also for this showcase part, it's really important to define standards. I don't know who is Luis. Luis is trying to join our conversation. Hi, Luis. You can speak if you want. So wow, my great friend. Hey, hi, Luis. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Yeah, I hope you enjoy our discussion. I see you didn't shave this morning.
No. It's my look since 1 year. So
okay,
it's not about shaving or not.
So I hope you have followed the discussion about books, and if we still need books. There's an ongoing discussion. I know that you have recently published a book on mobile dental photography. So what is your why did you write a book? That's great to have an author here with us. So why did you write a book and not just made an online version and make it available for everybody? Because if you're honest, when you have finished your book, you have to rewrite it very soon.
First of all, you know that when you have some ideas to share with your colleagues, we have so many ways to do it. We can do it by writing articles, by writing books, by posting on social media, and by doing this. And honestly, I tried all of these things. I published many articles, and thanks for you, I published in also in high impact factor journals about the idea of mobile dental photography. And to close the circle, I thought that the best was to write a book. And you know that now all the generations like to read online, to use the iPad, to use the phone, but the quality and you know, a book is a book. So a library and a university is nothing without books. And I don't think that libraries and the universities will close, because now everything is online. So in the book, there's a lot to write. There's a lot to discuss and to share with colleagues. And in my opinion, why not to have a book, papers, and something which is digital. So there's a lot of people that they like reading. There's a lot of people that they like to smell the papers and to see what's between the papers of a book. So yes, books are still here, and not everybody like to read on a screen of a laptop or of a phone or a pad. So so that's why a book should be written, and just to put and keep it for because when you write a book, it's here for the history and for a long time, and it's a reference for a lot of students and a lot of colleagues. So why not, as I said, to make a mixture about writing on papers, writing digitally, and have a visualization of an idea, like when I did with mobile dental photography. I know that at the beginning you didn't like this idea when we met in IDS at the beginning in 2017, but with time, I think that I convinced you that there's 95% of dentists that they don't have a professional camera. but everybody has a smartphone. So it's a great opportunity to give those people, the 95%, solution with a device which is the smartphone, which everybody has, and the cameras are evolving and evolving.
Yep.
It's not a battle between cameras. It's not a battle between a smartphone and the professional camera. In my opinion, it's a solution for the people that they cannot afford or they don't know how to use a professional camera.
Yeah, but let me tell you one thing, and
yes.
I really appreciate and love all your efforts you have done writing this book, and I agree with you. But for me, libraries are more a space where I see all the old books, and a working space, a place to communicate with others. So for me, the library is not the resource. It's not replacing digital media in the future, but it will stay a place of culture, of history, and of contemplation. And some people will still read books, but I would say many people would prefer to download your book and print a part of it. So then you print the few pages you think that are most important to you. And this can happen with online print service. So for example, I'm still waiting to get your book because of the whole pandemic. I hope that I will get it in 2 or 3 years. So,
no.
And if it would be electronically, I would have already be able to read it, comment on it.
If it was digital, I would not be able to write something on it and send it to you. This is first.
Then you would Then I would ask you. Then in this case, I would ask you to write me a letter, with your signature. Yes. So there's always a way around this.
Listen. The problem of this book, sending it to you, and I understand totally. If it was digital, you will be able to read it. But if you want, I can take pictures of it and send it to you, because till now I have only one copy due to the mail problem in my country. So that's why I'm late, and I'm sorry for that, Alessandro. But you receive it as soon as I receive a number of books, and you will have your first copy. So to go back to the libraries and the digital format of books. And Dr. Rito, I didn't say hello to you because I love your work so much, and I love so much how you evolved in photography and how you are giving an inspiration to all the dentists all over the world. So I was saying that it's about finding a solution, and that's why I was saying that it's not a battle between smartphone and professional camera. And I explained this in the book that I wrote, that after all, we need good and high quality pictures. So if we can have it with a professional camera, why not? If we can have it with smartphone, with the evolving of the new cameras of the smartphone, why not? If we can have it with a pocket camera, why not? So at the end, it's about to have a great high definition picture, just to share it and to have it. So if you have it in a book, if you have the solution in a digital way, if you have it on social media, it's about to tell our colleagues how to use the best of what we have between our hands. So you know that I always give this example. In the past, Schumacher used to drive Ferrari. Barrichello used to drive the same car. Schumacher was 7 times world champion. Barrichello never was. So it's not the car, it's how we use the car. And the same for the cameras, for the smartphones, and the same for the book and for the digital.
I totally agree. But the only comment to all this, and I really love your work and your passion for not only dental photography, but your next working goal is to work on standards also for mobile dental photography, because we started the discussion, and I'm really fighting every day. And for me, I want to continue what Wolfgang Bengel started in the 1980s. So we talked about this first article from 1985, Standards in Dental Photography. Nobody discusses or asks or is questioning standards in X-ray taking. There are clear standards how to take an X-ray of a tooth.
Sure.
And this is looking inside the patient is X-ray. Looking to the patient is photography. And I can only repeat that 1,000 times or 1 million times. We need the same standards to documentation of outside of our patient. You can add artistic photography. You can do whatever you want, fancy stuff and lipsticks and dancing girls and whatever you want. But if it comes to daily work, I hope you agree we need standards regardless of the technology and the tool we are using. So it should be reproducible, standardized. So if I take a picture of a patient and Ritu is taking the same patient a picture and Luis, they should look the same. So do you agree on this?
When you send me a message saying that it's time after writing a book and having the device, you wrote me a message, and I thank you a lot for that, about standardization for that. In the book, I standardized a lot of things, and I showed what is the best way to use a smartphone and to have great dental photography. And just to tell you that it's not about how to do it. Now I'm running many research just to show what is the best way to explore our mobile phone. So, for example, you know that everybody now, when they want to shoot on the mobile, they say that you have a barrel effect. Now we are conducting some studies, and we found the best way to make a mobile picture without any deformation, even better than SLR. So to have this standardization, and I'm working on it because of your recommendation, to have this standardization, I'm working in a scientific way, just by making some studies, and it will be published when it's ready in good journals, high impact factor journals. And when we have all this science data, all the standardization will be here. And I promise you that all these articles will be on papers and on digitally on the internet, in open access journal or other way, just to spread the word and have a great scientific based and evidence based material to give to our colleagues. I will not take the time of Ritu. I will enjoy.
No.
If Luis enters the discussion, it's always about our topics, and the good thing is, Luis, we are not fighting. So I think we have a discussion on a good level. I know what you're doing. You know what I am doing, and I want to push you. I want to push you to continue your great work, and keep in mind that there are some points that are really important for the dental community out there, and you have the tools, you know the tools, and we need people like you to help us to create then the bigger picture, to get dental photography to that standard and that level that it needs to have and it deserves to have. And again, compare it with X-ray. Sure. And if we are there, that we can say, I take a picture of a patient and it's the same meaning as I take an X-ray of a tooth, then we are almost there. But now today we are, from my point of view, very far away. And with the technology spreading out everywhere, there are so many people doing fancy things and losing a little bit the contact to the ground, just because they want to. And this is like this comment. Why some dentists push the artistic picture? It has something to do with the ego. Yes, on one side, and on the other side, it was the discussion I had, or the explanation I did with Ritu in the beginning. Especially in South America, dentists were not allowed to publish clinical images. So only since 2019, you're allowed to publish clinical pictures or show them outside your dental office. So how you can go around this, put a kiwi in the patient mouth, and it's not a dental picture anymore, it's artistic photography. There you go. So this is why artistic photography has started in South America, because of some limitations. And now, because we in Europe and the rest of the world say, wow, this is amazing, but has nothing to do with dentistry. And now a lot of people are trying to copy this technology. But I want to tell you again, do it when you have time, and it's just for fun and nothing else.
I totally agree. And I think that a lot of people wants to know how to do it. Yes, it's for fun. Yes, it's artistic. Yes, but we have to explore all the what we can do with our cameras. So I'm in with all kind of pictures. But as you said, we have to standardize and have a great way just to guide and follow, especially the young dentists, because when the students are doing their first restorations or work in the mouth of the patient, when they take pictures, they see bigger, and when they see bigger, they see their mistakes. So that's why making it simple is the best way. And this is what we are all doing, just to make it simple for everybody. So thank you so much for this opportunity to
before
to
Luis,
talk,
Dr. Luis,
to talk,
before you
listen,
leave,
to talk,
just let me say one thing. I'm so fortunate to share this screen with you. I mean, you can't imagine how happy I am right now. It is such a pleasant surprise that I'm seeing you right now. I'm talking to you. Thank you so much, Alessandro, that you you made it happen. Seriously, I'm really happy.
I was going to say the same. That is a big honor to me to be
Oh
on the
my God.
same screen with the legend Alessandro Devigus, with the beautiful and charming and the talented Ritu. And
Oh
thank you
my
so
God.
much. And
Thank you so much.
I will follow this discussion just to see what's next. Thank you so much, and hope to see you physically soon. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Take care. Take care, and Luis, keep up your work. So we have already come to the end. Maybe some final words, Luis, just to close the discussion. Do we still need books on dental photography? Just a few seconds from you.
Few seconds. I will say that life is so short. We need everything. We need books for people who like books. We need a digital for the new generation and people who like the digital world. And we have to make our life simple. When life is simple, we will live happily and make all the surrounding happy. So I wish you a happy life, and I wish you a great night, and I hope to see you soon. And a big hi to all our colleagues who will see this interview. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And
thank you for dropping in, and take care and
day.
see you soon. So Ritu, what are your final comments to all this?
Okay, so before adding this final comment, I would share one thing. Recently, I delivered a lecture online, which was totally on glamour photography. So it had nothing, no clinical view, no clinical part. It was just glamour photography, where I only spoke about communication with the patient and for the marketing purpose. That's it. So for me, I think the way you mentioned that even if we are clicking some other pictures, it has to have, or we are clicking pictures for the social media, it has to have some standardization, it has to look similar, or there has to be some protocol. So I think with the addition of these things, yes, it's a good idea to have a book about this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Ritu, Luis, thank you very much. Next time, maybe we will advertise it a little bit more in detail, because many people are still asking me, how can we join? How can we do this? I will do a video, an explanation how to join my studio. And next time, we hope to have more people and a more live discussion. But yeah, it will take some time that people get used to use new communication channels. So thank you very much, Ritu. I know that it's already late.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for having me here. Seriously, thank you.
Good night to everybody out there. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe to my, I have always to point on one side, to my YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, follow all, and let's communicate more with each other. So I want to motivate all dentists out there and all dental technicians and all people interested in dental or photography in general to engage more, to talk to each other, ask questions. Only if you ask questions, you get the answers, and you can get your photography to a new level. So thank you very much. Take care and goodbye.
You too.